Yeah, beta. Coming to inter-thread communication, the name itself, it is clearly stating that two threads are or more than two threads, they will communicate to each other, right? This inter-thread communication, it is all about allowing synchronized threads to communicate with each other. Here, the synchronized threads are communicating with each other. Sir, how they are going to communicate? Let us assume the threads are going to be executed in the critical section. In critical section, sir, T1 is the thread which is under execution. Now, sir, I want to hold this T1 and I want to execute the other thread. Then we will call wait method on this particular thread, right? Whenever you are calling the wait method, it causes current thread to release the lock, and that will wait until another thread invokes the notify method. So it releases the lock on that particular resource, then so that another thread can acquire the lock on that particular object and it finishes its execution. So once this particular thread finished its execution on the same critical section, so it need to notify the thread which is waiting for the resource again, right? So then what we will do, we will call a notify method, right? We will call a notify method stating that I am done with my execution. Now you can use the same resource. Whenever you are notifying, what will happen? It will wake up the thread which is under the waiting state, right? Sir, there are more than one thread which are in waiting state. Then you can call the notify all. Notify, which is used to wake up only one thread at a time. Notify all, which is used to wake up more than one thread. That is the difference between the notify and notify all, right? This is all about the three different methods. By using these three different methods, you can communicate one thread. One thread can communicate with other thread, right? So this is all about inter-thread communication. I will show you with example. Yeah, wait. This is an example for the inter-thread communication. What we are going to do here is, this is your bank account, right? You are the customer. You are going to withdraw the amount from this particular account. Sir, let's say I'm trying to withdraw 10,000 from this particular ABC account, right? Whenever I am trying to withdraw 10,000 from this ABCD account, so sir, the balance available in the account is only 5,000. Whenever the customer is trying to do this by using a particular thread, right, there will be a insufficient balance. So in this particular scenario, you cannot withdraw the amount. Then what I need to do, I need to hold this particular thread. I want to execute a wait method on this particular thread so that the thread will be in the waiting state. Meanwhile, I will use some other thread to deposit the amount, right? So this is for withdraw, right? Meanwhile, I'm using T2 for depositing the amount in the account. So by using T2 thread, I will deposit 15,000. Once the deposit is done, then I will notify the T1 thread to execute the same withdraw transaction again. So now the 15,000 you are added. So total 20K will be available in the account, so that if you are executing the T1 thread, it can withdraw the 10,000 successfully. This is how we can process more than one thread by communicating with each other. This is all about the inter-thread communication. This is an example. Now you can see here what I'm doing. I'm taking a class. My class name is called as the customer. So I'm taking the amount 10,000. I'm making the withdraw method as a synchronized method. That in the sense only one customer can withdraw amount at a time, or only one thread can execute on this particular method at a time, right? So I'm going to withdraw if the amount, right, this dot amount 10,000 less than the given amount. Let's say, sir, 10,000 is available. I want to withdraw 15,000. Is it possible? No. So if this condition is true, so less balance waiting for deposit, right? For example, sir, available balance is sufficient. Then what we will do? We will subtract that. How much available balance? 10,000. How much with you want to withdraw? 5,000. Then I will withdraw the amount successfully, right? Let's say if the amount is not sufficient, what I'm saying, less balance waiting for the deposit, what I'm doing in the try block, I'm calling the wait method. So the thread will be on the waiting state. Once we are after depositing, we are calling the notify method so that the thread will withdraw the amount again and you can do it. So here, what I'm doing, I'm implementing one more method, that is deposit, right? How much amount you are going to deposit? I'm going to deposit whatever the amount which you are deposited, that is added to the amount. Basically, you have 10K. Let's say you are added 15K, total 25K amount is available. Deposit complete. Once the deposit complete, what you are doing? You are calling the notify method. Notify method will notify the thread which is in the waiting state. That is T1, assume. So whenever you are calling the wait method, then what will happen? It goes to the whenever you are notifying, it comes from the waiting state and it will try to withdraw. So total is equal to total minus amount. So the rest of the amount will be there in the account, and you are notifying with the message that is withdraw completed successfully. This is how I am going to execute the more than one thread by using this inter-thread communication, right? So I'm taking the main class, main method. Now I'm creating object to the customer class, right? Now I'm creating object to the thread class. Now I'm calling the run method. There I am calling the withdraw method, right? So whenever I am trying to withdraw 15,000, actual available amount is 10K. I'm trying to withdraw 15K. It won't be possible. Then what we will do, we will display a message, less amount waiting for the deposit. Then this I'm going to start by using the start method, right? Then I'm taking, this is the anonymous class, which we discussed. I'm creating one more object to the thread class. There I'm calling the run method. I'm calling the deposit method. How much amount I'm going to deposit? 10,000. So 10,000 will be added to the existing 10,000. Total 20K will be available in the account. So once it is done, then within this deposit method only, we are calling the notify. Then that will notify the method which is in the notify the thread which is in the waiting state. Then it can perform the withdraw and it is displaying the message like withdraw is completed, right? If you want me to execute, I will execute this. Anyways, you can see the output here. First, we are going to withdraw, right? There we don't have the sufficient balance. Waiting for the deposit, there we call the wait method. Then the other thread is going to deposit. Deposit is completed. Then it is notifying. Then the other thread woke up and it withdraw the amount from the account. This is how inter-thread communication will happen, right? Sir, if you are not going to use this, what will happen? Beta, if you are not going to use this wait and all, there are the cases, there may be a chance to occur deadlock when, sir, what is this deadlock means? Here, deadlock, it can occur in a situation where a thread is waiting for the object which is already locked by another thread, right? Let's say thread 1, it is waiting for the object that is already locked by another thread. And this is thread which is waiting for an object that is already locked by another thread. This kind of situation is called as a deadlock. So both threads are in the waiting state for each other to release the lock. This type of condition is called as a deadlock. So this can be implemented, this can be avoided by using notify, wait, notify all, by using these techniques. This is one of the technique to avoid this deadlock, right? We will see the example later in the lab sessions. Chalo guys, thank you.